Welcome back to Organic Chemistry students. Today we'll be dealing with a new chapter called Benzene and Alkyl Benzene. Till now we have been dealing with aliphatic compounds which are straight chain like alkanes, alkenes and alkynes and combination of C double bond C and C triple bond C and the reactions concerning them. Now we will have a change in flavor where we have aromatic compounds or ring compounds instead of a straight chain compounds. In this we are mainly interested on benzene because it is very much useful in our daily life and in also other industries. First we'll start with benzene and reactions concerning benzene. The formula for benzene is C6H6. If you look into the structure of benzene, it is like a 6-member ring with alternate double bonds. You know that each double bond has 2 pi electrons. As a result of it, benzene has 6 pi electrons, 2 electrons coming from each bond. Now, one more thing you need to note is that this benzene is aromatic because it is conjugated, it is planar, and moreover it has 6 pi electrons, which are 4 into 1 plus 2, that is 4n plus 2 pi electrons where n is equal to 1. Because of this aromatic nature, it is very stable. Because of this stability, it is in general unreactive at normal conditions. So, if you look at benzene closely, we were just told that it's in conjugation. So, if you write one structure of benzene like this, since it's in conjugation, one more structure would be like this. These two are similar structures, and we write it as a 6-member ring with a dotted ring, which indicates that we have double bonds here and these are in conjugation. Now, just by looking at the benzene, one may think that it's very much similar to alkenes. The only difference is that it has 3 carbon-carbon double bonds. So first recap the reactions of alkenes. Let's recap only a few of them. Whenever you have C double bond C, you know that it reacts with say HX, which is HBr for example, or Br2 in CCl4 or Br2 in even water, and it also undergoes oxidation with KMnO4. So you know that in general it undergoes electrophilic addition reaction since this is nucleophile. But also observe that these reactions are possible at normal temperature. But if you take benzene, if you treat it with all these same reagents, it's not going to react at normal temperature. This is because we were already told that because of this stability by aromaticity, it's unreactive at normal conditions. So since it is more stable, it's not going to react much. But it is reactive at high temperature. And one famous inorganic reaction is whenever you treat this benzene with chlorine, you get BH6. It's not basically inorganic, it's an organic reaction where it's just an addition reaction and it follows a free radical mechanism. Since high temperature, we have learned that HELP. Remember this, where H stands for heat. Free radical is formed. I'll draw out the structure for you if you want. It's basically a 6-member ring. You have lost all the double bonds here on the benzene, and instead of double bond you have got chlorines, which are Cl, Cl Cl, 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 and also you have hydrogens initially, one each on one carbon. So this is the structure of BH6, which is, you call it as BH6, but this BH6 is C6, H6, Cl6. So remember, you shouldn't write this BH6 as BH6. You have to write it as BH6, that is BH6. This is wrong and this is a right way of representing this. I have given this in particular so that you won't make any mistake next time. Now let us look about some chemical properties of benzene after studying this BH6. First one is, if you take benzene, it has dipole moment 0. So if you treat it with a nonpolar reagent whose dipole moment is obviously 0 since it is nonpolar, it won't give any reaction. But for example, if you treat it directly with chlorine, it won't give any reaction. But if polar reagent is used and high temperature is maintained, that is drastic conditions, this benzene will give electrophilic, aromatic substitution reaction. See here, the name is electrophilic aromatic substitution. We have told in the alkenes chapter that name of a reaction depends upon RDS step. So you can see that in RDS step, electrophile is the attacking reagent, aromatic because the ring has aromaticity, and substitution because the reagent is substituting, or the electrophile is substituting the hydrogen on the benzene in general, if hydrogen is there. Now let us look closely into the mechanism of this electrophilic aromatic substitution. First, consider benzene. The structure is this one. Now let us take a reagent which is polar. Consider this to be your reagent, some variable reagent with E plus and Nu minus, where E plus is the electrophilic part of the reagent and Nu minus is the nucleophilic part. Remember, this is a reagent. If you use this, then as you can see, initially it is non-polar, that is mu equal to 0, and in presence of a dipole, as you can see this is a dipole, you have induced dipole attractions, that is this benzene will have a dipole moment because of this electrophile, or this dipole as such you can say. You have already learned this in the chapter of your chemical bonding. Just recapitulate what you have learned. There is a benzene ring here, and as a result of it, you are going to get a complex. Remember, this is called a sigma complex. This is pi complex actually, and this has initially mu equal to 0, and in the presence of an electrophile you will get a pi complex, not sigma complex, a pi complex we call it as. And after attack, that is, you will get this one shifting this direction, and you have hydrogen here and electrophile here. You will get this molecule where you have positive charge on this carbon, and you have electrophile here, and you have hydrogen here and positive charge here. Now We call this as a pi complex, a sigma complex. So first you have benzene, it's getting converted to a pi complex, and finally you are going to get a sigma complex. As you can see here, initially it is aromatic, and because of attack of this electrophile, it has lost its aromaticity. As you can see, it doesn't have 4n plus 2 pi electrons, so it has lost its stability. As a result of it, now if you try to add any nucleophile to this, the reaction won't occur. This is because, suppose say the nucleophile has attached to it, you will have hydrogen here, electrophile here, and a nucleophile here. That is, what I mean to say is, if you just think it to be a normal C double bond C, assuming it to be a normal C double bond C, if you attack electrophile first and then if you add a nucleophile and think that the reaction is occurring, you are wrong, because this won't occur. As you can see here, it doesn't have aromaticity, and because of this it has lost its aromaticity. So this is giving less stability to the benzene ring owing to non-feasibility of the reaction. But if you observe very closely, what you can observe is, by loss of this hydrogen, it can get aromaticity, or it can regain its aromaticity. That is what happens here. That is, this this sigma complex, you have positive charge here, lost its hydrogen, the bond being shifted this direction, that is, you get negative charge here, you will get back your aromaticity. You have electrophile here. Now as you can see, you have started with an aromatic compound and ended with an aromatic compound. Also, one more thing you need to note is that you are using a polar reagent here, and you are assuming that the temperature is very high, that is, drastic conditions are observed. Now let's see what are the steps that are involved in this reaction. Here I have a quick review of what you have learned previously. First you have benzene, and it will form a pi complex, and then it will form a sigma complex, and it will form again a substituted benzene. Now here two crucial steps are involved. One is attack of electrophile, and this is the first step which is involved, and the second one which you are going to study is cleavage of CH bond, which is this bond. So cleavage of CH bond. Now if you draw the energy profile diagram for this, you have initially reactants here, you have first transition state, and you have a complex which is sigma complex here, and then you have a substituted benzene, which are your final products. That's the products which you have obtained. So as you can see, this is the potential energy and this is reactant coordinates. This first step, this first part involves electrophilic attack, and this second part involves cleavage of CH bond. Now for some reactions the graph can be like this, or the graph can be even in this way, or sometimes the graph can be even this way. Observe here, this peak is lesser than this peak, and here this peak is greater than this peak, and here both the peaks are at equal heights. This phenomenon is called as a kinetic isotopic effect for this one and this one. You say that there is kinetic isotopic effect. Now I do not want to deal this thing because it's not there in your JEE syllabus, so for the namesake I've given you the name. Now let us see the individual cases in it. What if you add nitration mixture or if you add sulfonation mixtures and so on. Now let us talk about nitration. First you have benzene. If you add HNO3 where the structure is OHNO2, you will get OH minus NO2 plus, and since it's acidic medium you have first a protonation occurring here, water cleavage, so you will get OH2. This is H2O, which is water. You have electrophile as NO2 plus, and if you directly add it, you have this one. The mechanism is taught to you. So you have nitrobenzene. But just see, here you are getting water as your byproduct. So as the reaction proceeds, you get more and more water in the reaction vessel. As a result of it, dilution of this increases and it becomes less probable for these two reactants to collide and to form this product because they are being separated. So this is not the best reagent for it. The best reagent is that a nitration mixture, which is concentrated HNO3 and concentrated H2SO4. Now how this occurs and what is the mechanism in it, we have been dealt in the examples part. You can go through that. Now I'll write it here. Go through examples for it. Now the second one is sulfonation. This is also a very important reaction, and this is clearly given to you in your examples. You can have a look at them. We have dealt that very clearly. You will understand it. And next one is halogens. Now these are worth considering. First, as we have mentioned earlier, take a benzene and add halogen. You have no product because dipole moment of this is 0 and dipole moment of this is 0. But how to proceed the reaction and how to have a halo substituted benzene? For this, what you do is we add Lewis acid. If you add Lewis acid to the mixture, it will make this halogen compound, which is X2, a polar one. We'll see how it occurs, and as a result of this polarity, this has dipole moment not equal to 0, so the reaction will proceed by forming a sigma complex. Now let us see the individual cases. Now first halogen is fluorine. The reaction for fluorine is highly exothermic. That is, if you use say F2 in the presence of a Lewis acid, say AlCl3. Now we have told that this increases the polarity. Let us see how it does. Take any halogen X2 and any Lewis acid, which is AlCl3. Since it's a Lewis acid, you know that aluminum has a vacant orbital and this halogen has lone pair of electrons. It can donate it to it and you will get a complex like X AlCl3 minus this plus. So as you can see here, this is a polar molecule. Fluorine is highly reactive because we all know that carbon is a small molecule and fluorine is also a small molecule. So overlap is effective. As a result of it, strong bond is formed owing to highly exothermic. Though it requires activation energy, it is highly exothermic. So if you try to carry out in a vessel, it would be very difficult because a lot of temperature would be released. But what's some way to prepare it? Don't worry about it. It's prepared by a method called Bench-Kreiman reaction. You will be dealing with it in aryl halides chapter. For now, don't worry about it.